Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to our daily morning reading of Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you all for joining. Please accept my humble obeisances. Please forgive me if I make any offenses during this class. Vansha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. And I also seek blessings from Srila Prabhupada, entire Guru Parampara, and my Guru Maharaj, so I can utilize whatever I have heard in the service of Bhagavatam, in the glorification of Krishna and his devotee. We are reading from Canto 1, Chapter 19, The Appearance of Śukadeva Gosvāmī. We read verses 36 and 37 yesterday. And there is a clear connection between these two verses, the glorification, the significance of the moment when Guru comes in our life, and also the urgency because death is impending. We don't know when we will die. It's possible that we have a long life, a prolonged life. And it's also possible if we have a shockingly short lifespan, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, 48 years, like Adi Shankaracharya, 32 years. And then on the other side, there are some trees. Bhagavatam says there are certain species of trees that live for thousands of years, hundreds and thousands of years. I don't know which purport, but in one of the purports, Srila Prabhupada writes that in Vrindavan, there is a temple, Imlitala temple, and there is an ancient tamarind tree which is said to have existed and witnessed Krishna's pastimes. So it's been standing there for more than 5,000 years. So yes, every tree and every animal in Vrindavan is fortunate that we know. But the thing is, you can't measure how meaningful your life is based on how long you live. In Gujarati, we say, Lambe tunke jindagi na apaye. You don't measure life based on how long or how short you live. Life is measured based on if there was any spiritual value in it. So the tamarind tree in Vrindavan may have lived for thousands of years, but when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes and he lives for 48 years, and he shows us how a jiva, a tree is a jiva, a human is a jiva, but as a human, as a devotee, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shows us how a jiva can perfect their life in a short span and attain Krishna Prem, the goal of life. So the point is that even if we have a long life and all we do is eat, breathe, and reproduce, then what makes us different from trees or animals? There is a beautiful verse in second canto, third chapter. And in that verse, in a very poetic way, Śukadeva Goswami says that, do the trees not live? Tarava kimna jivanti? And then he mentions a tool that they use. He says bhastra kimna shwasanti. The blacksmith, he has a special tool. It's called bellows. That tool, it blows air on the fire, so the blacksmith can work nicely. So that also breathes in a way. And then Śukadeva Goswāmī says about the animals, na khadanti na mehanti kim grame pashavo pare. Even the animals all around us, even animals, don't they eat and discharge semen? So if we live a life like this, then what life have we lived? And especially for us, even after coming in contact with devotees and Bhagavatam, after coming in Bhakti, even after hearing an entire canto of Bhagavatam, if our consciousness, it must change. And if not, then what have we heard? So, Parikshit Maharaj is reminding us that we are all in a very precarious situation. In both the verses we read yesterday, they had an attention-catching word, Mriyamana, one who is about to die. We are all about to die. Yesterday we talked about Antaka, the terrifying snake of time who is chasing us. Prachanda Vegada Vidhavata Brusham. This death serpent Kala, it moves Prachanda Vega with terrible force and speed. And with each breath, we are approaching our last moment. In Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.17, Śukadeva Goswāmī says, Ayur harati vaikum sam udyan astam chayannaso tasyartet yakshano nita uttama shloka vartaya. So yesterday we talked about how Antaka, the serpent of time, is approaching. And here Śukadeva Goswāmī talks about the sun. The sun rises and the sun sets, and by both, by rising and by setting, the sun decreases the duration of our life. But you know what? Tasyarte yat kshanonita uttama shloka vartaya. Sun has one exception. Those who do uttama shloka vartaya, those who discuss the glories of uttama shloka. The exception is that, except for those who utilize their time by discussing the topics of Krishna, sun takes an exception for those. So every moment is bringing us closer to death. The human body is temporary and no one knows when the final moment will come. The most fortunate Parikshit Maharaj does know when he is going to die. And we are fortunate to witness it through the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. So today, let's go to verse 38. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirai nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktirbhavati naishviki. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Yad shrotavyam atho japyam Yat kartavyam nrubhi prabho smartavyam bhajaniyam va bruhi yadva viparyayam. Let's look at word to word. Yat, whatever, shrotavyam, worth hearing, atho, thereof, japyam, chanted, yat, what also, kartavyam, executed, Drubhihi, by the people in general, Prabho, O Master, Smartavyam, that which is remembered, Bhajaniyam, worshipable, Va, either, Bruhi, please explain, Yadva, what it may be, Viparyayam, against the principle. Translation by Krishna Kripamurti, His loving divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Please let me know what a man should hear, chant, remember and worship, and also what he should not do. Please explain all this to me. There is no purport by Srila Prabhupada. So we'll also move on to the next verse, 119:39. Nunam bhagavato brahman griheshu grihamedinam na lakshyate hi avasthanam api godohanam kvachit. Word to word. So first line is Nunam Bhagavato Brahman. So Nunam means because, Bhagavat means of you, who are powerful, and Brahman means O Brahmana. So first line means O powerful Brahmana, I know for sure that. Then next line is Griheshu Grihamedinam. So Griheshu means in the houses, Grihamedinam of the householders. So and then third line, Na lakshyate avasthanam. Na means not, lakshate are seen, he exactly, and avasthanam means staying in. So Parikshit Maharaj is saying that you are certainly rarely seen in the homes of materialistic householders. And then last line, Api godohanam kvachit. Api means even, godohanam means milking the cow, kvachit means rarely. And not even for the time it takes to milk a cow. Translation by Krishna Kripamurti, His loving divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O powerful Brahmana, it is said that you hardly stay in the houses of men long enough to milk a cow. So this means that great sages like Śukadeva Gosvāmī, they do not stay long at a place. They are detached, not attached to household comforts. They are always on the move. And let's see what Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport. Would anyone like to read his purport? Yes.
I can read, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Saints and sages in the renounced order of life go to the houses of householders at the time they milk the cows early in the morning and ask some quantity of milk for subsistence. A pound of milk fresh from the milk bag of a cow is sufficient to feed an adult with all vitamin values, and therefore saints and sages live only on milk. Even the poorest of the householders keep at least 10 cows, each delivering 12 to 20 quarts of milk, and therefore no one hesitates to spare a few pounds of milk for the mendicants. It is the duty of householders to maintain the saints and sages like the children. So a saint like Śukadeva Gosvāmī would hardly stay at the house of a householder for more than 5 minutes in the morning. In other words, such saints are very rarely seen in the houses of householders, and Maharaj Parikshit therefore prayed to him to instruct him as soon as possible. The householders also should be intelligent enough to get some transcendental information from visiting sages. The householder should not foolishly ask a saint to deliver what is available in the market. That should be the reciprocal relation between the saints and the householders. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So, in this verse, there is a word Gruhamedinam, which Srila Prabhupada has translated as of the householders. So, we often hear another word, Gruhastha, which is also translated as householder. But there is a huge difference between these two. In Varnashram system, there is an ashram, Grihastha ashram, right? Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanprastha, Sannyas. These are the 4 ashrams. So Grihastha, the second ashram, is a householder in the ashram system who is living according to dharma. He or she accepts the family life as a service to Krishna. A Krishna conscious householder sees his spouse, children, home and work not as his own possessions, but as Krishna's property delegated to him to look after. And he doesn't neglect or reject them. He provides, he protects and loves them. as a service to Krishna and not as his own sense gratification. And his mood is that these are not mine. I'm simply taking care of them on behalf of the Lord. As Bhaktivinoda Thakur beautifully said in a bhajan, Grihe Thako, Vane Thako, Sada Hari Mole Dako. Wherever you live, whether you live in a house or in a forest, always call out the name of Lord Hari. So Grihastha is a pure householder. He is not attached to family. And by not being attached, it doesn't mean that he is cold or indifferent to the family, but he realizes that family is not the ultimate shelter. Krishna is. So, he accepts both joy and sorrow of the family life as Krishna's arrangement. And if we try to remember one example of a perfect householder in Srimad Bhagavatam, then Amrish Maharaj. He was a perfect grihastha, ruling a kingdom, caring for his subjects, which is his broader family and his own immediate family, but fully absorbed in devotional service. So Bhagavatam says, Savai mana Krishna padara vindayo vachamsi vaikuntha gunanuvarnane karo harir mandir marjanadi shrutim chakara achyuta satkathodaya. So he uses his everything, his mind, his hands, his senses, his words, his actions, his wealth, everything in the service of Krishna. So, a grihastha is one who engages all his senses and even he guides his family towards the loving devotional service to Krishna. And on the other hand, a grihamedi is one who lives in the household life solely for his or her own sense gratification. So they see the family, wealth, and social position as permanent, and they think that that enjoying them is the only goal of life. So they're not interested to inquire about the absolute truth, and nor do they serve Guru or Krishna. So a griha medhi's life is entangled in lust and false ego and pride and the material attachments. So in short, griha medhi is a materialistic householder. And also, being a householder is not a disqualification in spiritual life. In fact, most devotees are grihasthas, but the key is that the key is to be Krishna conscious grihastha, Krishna centered grihastha, and not self centered grihameti. There is a nice story of how materialistic grihamedi remains absorbed in the tiny temporary enjoyments of life and ignores the serpent of death. Once there was a royal prince who was wandering in the forest, and suddenly a tiger, he saw a ferocious tiger who started chasing him. So he was running for his life, and then he saw a dry well. So he quickly just jumped into the well to escape. And as he fell, he managed to grab a creeping vine which was growing along the side of the well. And then he held on to that vine tightly to save his life, which was very dear to him. But then when he settled a little bit, then he looked down. And at the bottom of the well, there was a huge black serpent waiting with his mouth wide open. He's scared and now he looks up. And above the well, the tiger is still waiting for him to climb out, growling at him. And the things get even worse. Then he sees on the same vine he's clinging to, there are two mice, one white and one black, and they are biting that vine that he is clinging to. So then he is, under so much stress, how to get out of that situation. And out of nowhere, a single drop of honey slowly fell. And he quickly opened his mouth to catch it. He tasted it, and it was very delicious. So On one branch of the vine he was clinging to, there was a beehive, and from that beehive, every few minutes, a single drop of honey was falling. And the man got so busy in catching each drop of honey and enjoying it thoroughly, he forgot all about the tiger, the snake, the mice, and his impending death. He forgot that I have to get out of this well. I have to save my life. He just got absorbed in tasting the honey. So, this is a symbolic story. Tiger is our impending death. The snake that is at the bottom of the well is the kal, our time in this material world, which is also trying to swallow us. And the white and black mice, they are day and night. So time is steadily passing. And the drop of honey is the temporary material pleasures of family, name, fame, money, sex, etc. So the wine this man was clinging to is the attachment to the honey. What pleasures? He was a prince. So what pleasures can he get in that dark well? He is the son of the king. If he gets out, he can swim in a pond of honey. But what he was wasting his time on is a drop of honey. So this is Grihamedi, one who has forgotten the real purpose of life. That is why Prahlad Maharaj says in Bhagavatam 7:9-45, Yanmaitunadi grihamede sukham hitucham kanduyanena karayoriva dukkha dukkam tripyanti neha kripana bahu dukkha bhaja kanduti vanmanasijam vishaheta dhira. So, life of Grihamedi, Prahlad Maharaj says, Yan Maithunadi Grihamedi Sukham Hitucham. Life of Grihamedi is focused on material enjoyments, Maithunadi, sex, etc. So, Yan Maithunadi Grihamedi Sukham Hitucham, Tucham. The material sukh is insignificant. But Kanduyanen Karayo Riva Dukha Dukkam. Kanduyan means the itch. So when we rub it with Karayo Riva, with our hands, we get a relief, a 1 second pleasure. But it's a temporary relief. It can also make things worse and cause more pain. Blood can ooze out and it can cause more suffering. And then Prahlad Maharaj says, Tripyanti neha kripana bahu dukkha bhaja. The kripana, foolish people, they think that this itching is the highest happiness. So they keep scratching and enjoying again and again, but never feel fully satisfied. Kanduti van manasijam vishaheta dhira. But a dhira, wise person, tolerates the itch. Vishaheta dhira. He controls his desire and he avoids suffering. So, in the story that we just said, the man hanging in the well, he is like a kripan, a foolish person. He is in great danger. A tiger above death, a snake below the end of life, and the mice, black and white mice, the time, they are cutting his life short. And still, he is focused on that one drop of honey, the small pleasure, the insignificant pleasure, and he forgets everything else. So that drop of honey is like the itch. It's a brief pleasure in the middle of the real danger. So a sober person, Dhira, would think, he would remember where he has come from the palace, and he needs to go back there. So he would be clear that this is not the time to waste on tasting the honey. I need to get out of here. So that is Grihastha, always aware, always alert, tolerating the itch, and not forgetting that the goal is to go back home, back to Godhead. So Grihamedi is a Kripan and Grihastha is Dhira. And another word, significant word in this verse is Go Dohanam. So Srila Prabhupada, he is describing here, how an ideal grihastha would always be prepared to serve the saints. And Śukadeva Gosvāmī, hardly stays. He is such a sage that he will hardly stay at houses of Grihameti people just long enough to milk a cow. So householders would have, at least 10 cows, and when a sannyasi, sage or saint visits, um, uh, they can and they should offer some milk. Now, Parikshit Maharaj knows that Shukdev Goswami doesn't stay at a place more than Godohanam, few minutes. So, knowing that my death is close, time is limited, and a pure devotee like Shukdev Goswami is very hard to find and very hard to hold. So, Parikshit Maharaj urgently prays for instruction. He knows that Shukdev Goswami won't stay long, and his presence is rare and precious. So he must immediately ask the most important question. So Parikshit Maharaj goes straight to the point. I'm about to die. Tell me what is best for me to do to make my life successful. So this Go Dohan is symbolic. It represents the brief opportunity the saintly personalities give us for receiving their mercy and gaining the spiritual nourishment. When the householder is milking a cow and the sadhu is there, it gives the householder a brief and practical window for sadhu sang. Because such sadhus, as we said, they are always on the move and they don't linger. And in my life also, my Guru Maharaj, as if he stayed for a very brief time, but he kind of sparked a fire within me and within all of us disciples with his lectures, his kirtans, his books, and ultimately, he left us this inspiration to serve the mission of Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada writes here that the householder should be intelligent enough to get some transcendental information from the visiting sages. There is a Gujarati bhajan, વીજળી ને ચમકારે મોતીડા પરોવરે પાનબાઈ અચાનક અંધારા થાશે જી. It means that life is very transient, very quick. It will keep you busy. It will give you moments like Vijali ne chamkare. When lightning, in Hindi we say Bijli chamakti hai na, utna hi time life degi. So on a dark night when the lightning comes, it gives us a brief second when we can actually see clearly. And same way, life will give us brief moments of sadhu sang. And we must utilize those moments. As Prabhupada says, we should be intelligent enough. Because life is otherwise dark. But when we get sadhu sang, that is like lightning has struck. We can see clearly for a brief moment. So we should utilize that time. વીજળી ને ચમકારે મોતીડા પરોવરે પાનબાઈ. So when we get that brief moment, what we should do is, a pearl, it has a tiny hole in it. And if we want to make a pearl necklace, we need to pass the thread through the tiny hole. So when the lightning comes, we should be ready and we should quickly thread the pearl. And if we take advantage of each lightning life gives us, by the end of life, we will have a beautiful pearl garland. And if we waste those moments, Achanak andhara thashe ji. Suddenly, it will get all dark, life will finish. So opportunity must be seized. Parikshit Maharaj teaches us to take full advantage of sadhu sang. He doesn't waste time. He asks straight away, please tell me what to do now that I'm going to die. So when opportunities come, we should not delay. We should drop everything else and hear submissively. how perfectly Chaitanya Charitamrita captures this. We hear these words again and again, but how perfectly it captures this idea. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22:54. Sadhu Sang, Sarva Shastri Kai, Lava Matra Sadhu Sang, Sarva Siddhi Hai. It's the verdict of all revealed scriptures that even by a moment's association with a pure devotee, Lava Matra Sadhu Sang, love is 1/11th of a second. Sarva Siddhi. Even with that much association, one can attain all success. So, by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, on some fortunate moment, his books have entered our lives like a divine light that is piercing through the fog of illusion. And we need to understand that these books are not ordinary books. They are Shabda Brahma, spiritual sound which is incarnated as words. They carry these words, they carry the voice of Srila Prabhupada, the pure devotee of Sri Krishna. And through him, through these books carry the will of Sri Krishna. So, we need to shower at least once daily to keep our body clean, right? We don't say that, oh, today I was too busy to shower. And our consciousness is filthy, way more unclean than our body. So our daily contact with these books is our daily spiritual shower. One verse, one paragraph, it will keep our consciousness clean. So we need to study them and reflect. We need to read each purport as if it's a personal letter written just to us by Srila Prabhupada. These are all personal instructions. And by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, these books have given us a map, a spiritual map of road back to Godhead. But just holding the map, just keeping the books in the cupboard, it won't do any magic itself. Map has to be followed. So, Srila Prabhupada's books, we need to read them, we need to live them, and we need to share them. So that is the true success in this human birth. Let's read the last verse, verse 40 as well. Suta uvacha evam abhashitah prushtaha saragnakshlakshana gira pratyabhashat dharmagno Bhagavan Badarayanihi. Now, in Veda base, there are 2 more lines, but in my book, those lines are not there. I will recite anyway. Aham evasmevagre nanyadyat sat param paschadaham yadetacho vashishyeta so samyaham. What word? Suta Uvacha, Sri Suta Gosvāmī said, Evam, thus, Abhashitaha, being spoken, Rushtaha, and asked for, Saha, he, Ragna, by the king, Shlakshya, by sweet, Gira, language, Pratyabhashat, began to reply, Dharmagnaha, one who knows the principles of religion. Bhagavan, the powerful personality, Badra Yanihi, son of Vyasadeva. Translation by Krishna Krupamurti, His loving divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Suta Goswami said, the king thus spoke and questioned the sage using sweet language. Then the great and powerful personality, the son of Vyasadeva, who knew the principles of religion, began his reply. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the first canto, 19th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Appearance of Śukadeva Gosvāmī, end of the first canto. So, no purport by Srila Prabhupada for this last verse, so we are also not commenting on it either. But just to conclude the last few verses, if I share my realization in one word, then it would be urgency. His Holiness Mahavishnu Gosvāmī Maharaj says that whatever may be our condition, but the best time to devotional service is now. We may be rich or poor, sick or healthy. We may be in good or bad mood, distressed, happy, or very excited. We may be very angry, upset, or frustrated. Whatever is the state of our mind, the best time is now. The allocated number of breaths is limited. And anytime we will die, we will no longer have the privilege of this human body. Once someone asked Maharaj that, Maharaj, how come you have so much attachment for Bhagavatam? So Maharaj said that I don't have faith in this breath. Every breath has to be used in devotional service. Or otherwise, when again we will get this opportunity to use these breaths in his service? We don't know. We have to remind ourselves of this urgency, and therefore we cannot postpone our chanting. We cannot afford to postpone or avoid or wait for the right time to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So the conclusion is, as Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, Jiva Jago, Gaura Chandra Bole, wake up the sleeping soul, wake up. Don't wait for old age. Don't wait for the right time. The right time is now, because you are alive now and Krishna is calling you now. Krishna says, time I am the destroyer of all. So, time, in English, we heard this saying that time and tide wait for none. Time waits for no one. But Krishna, he is time, but he has waited for all of us with love. And so we should realize this urgency. And what can we do with this realization? What practically we should do to live with urgency? First of all, we need to cut away all the distractions. Kali Yuga, in Kali Yuga, time moves fast and distractions come easily. So in this age, we are surrounded by distractions, temptations. And if we don't take shelter of Krishna right now, we will be swept away with Maya. Kalau nasti, eva nasti, eva nasti, eva gatiranyatha. In Kali Yuga, there is no other way, no other way, no other way than to chant the holy name. So we need to use our time wisely, cut all the distractions, limit our time on social media, prajalpa, the idle talk, or other time-wasting activities that we may be attached to. And the best way to bring that conviction is that, again, by hearing daily, regular Shravanam reminds us of our real goal. And then another fuel is associating with devotees. Their own enthusiasm, it fuels our own enthusiasm. Bhakti is an infectious disease, and we want to get infected so badly. We need to spend time with these infected people. And also we need to serve now. There is no need to wait to become perfect. We can serve according to our current capacity. If not an ocean, just a drop, but with a sincere desire to serve Vaishnavas, Guru, and Krishna. So we are all like Parikshit Maharaj. We are not cursed by the Brahman, yes, but cursed by time. Every breath we take is one breath closer to our last breath. And here is the Bhagavatam, not a book. It's a voice. It's a river of mercy flowing from Krishna's heart to our heart. And we think we have time. We think tomorrow is guaranteed. But death is not going to send us a calendar invite. So, a gentle reminder that bhakti is not for retirement. It's not for the weekend. It's not for the later. Bhagavatam is not, that yes, I have the book, but for now, let me just, let the book just be there. and I will read it when I have time. Time is now. So, bhakti is not our side hustle. It's the main business, our urgent business. So, I think on this note, we will conclude here. I would like to thank Viraj Krishna Prabhu for blessing me with this service of sharing whatever I have heard and whatever I could, little I could understand from Srila Prabhupada and his followers with all of you. And I must thank all of you as well for tolerating me and allowing me to glorify Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam is really the ultimate, spiritual thriller. At the end of Canto 1, Bhagavatam has left us with, one of the most profound and dramatic cliffhanger question. So let's all stay tuned in to Srimad Bhagavatam. First Canto is said to be the lotus feet of Krishna. Krishna has allowed us to have a darshan of his lotus feet. So let's not ever leave this. Let's all of us always take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Again, a reminder, tomorrow we will have a very special class by His Grace Viraj Krishna Prabhu. I think it will be a conclusion of first canto. And it will be a nice opportunity for all of us to get together in person. So tomorrow is not optional. We all must attend the Bhagavatam class in person at the temple and have a grand feast and grand celebration of our completion of reading first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam together. And if anyone has any realizations or questions or comments or corrections for me to share, please open your mic and please bless us with all your realizations.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you very much for a very wonderful class. I don't have any realization, but I have a question. In the olden times, there was the life was very simple. The abodes were simple, the households were simple. It was a Vedic way of life. Then Prabhupada established ISKCON, and the demarcation also was very clear. You stay in the temple and you just do service and engage in yourself in 24/7 bhakti. Now a stage has come where it's more not so much Sankirtan movement, but more a congregation movement. My question is, how does one actually draw a line between making yourself very comfortable in this Western society? Most of us come from the Indian background, but we still want to live that Western lifestyle. We have $1 million homes and all the gadgets and all the facilities here. And yes, social media takes a little bit of time, but more time is also taken in building, maintaining, and securing these houses. And that's why there's very little time left for anything else. And then again, we get involved in the children's future, in the classes, this and that and all that. So actually, if you see statistically, not much time is left for anything else. The basic minimum time is left for chanting 16 rounds and just maybe hearing something. So what is the solution for that, Mataji, if there's any? Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your question. And yes, that is a situation for all of us. What I have realized is that, we can't suddenly make that decision that, that will be a very bold decision. If we decide when we read Srimad Bhagavatam and realize that the ideal life is a simple life, I read somewhere in Mahavishnu Gosvāmī Maharaj's lectures that we can survive with 2 saris and a simple house, but it is us that we want more and more and more. So yes, we have all that, but I think we just have to make the best use of this bad bargain. and whatever time we have, I have two boys, and as you described, I have to take them after school, so many activities and so much time goes on for them. But what I do is in the car also, we try to play some kirtan or bhajans, so we are reminded, and children are also reminded. We can hear the holy names, and when I reach there, they are involved in their activity, and my job as the driver is finished. So I use that time for chantings, do some extra rounds, or do some reading, also studying some courses. So sometimes I take my homework along with them. So when they are doing their activity, I try to do my activity, and also cutting down on my sleep. That is something I think that has helped. We think that we need 8 hours, 10 hours sleep. Sometimes, a lot of time during of the 24 hours goes in our relaxing as well. So, not just chanting, I try to do some substantial amount, maybe 1 hour of reading, and arti, Mangala Arti and everything in the morning, plus reading, plus chanting, and then attending this Bhagavatam class. And also, I know everyone's work is different, but in my case, and for whoever it's possible, we can hear the classes when we are doing. And for us ladies, we are spending so much time in our cooking and cleaning. So whenever it's possible, whenever children don't need my attention, I have my earphones on, and I'm hearing the classes as well. Sometimes hearing the same class of Srila Prabhupada again and again. So it reminds us. So I think that is what we can do, Prabhuji. And for those of us who can take the bold decision, we can always simplify our life. We have tried to do that. So yes, that is my 2 cents, Prabhuji. I know you are asking the question, but you have a better answer. So please add whatever needs to be added, Prabhuji.
Actually, this topic needs a wide discussion among everyone. It's a topic where we need to understand that as time goes by, we should get more involved in the 5 direct limbs of bhakti, and then less of indirect. At the same time, also, we must understand that Prabhupada was the one who actually spent all his life in saving the entire world. And if we really are following Srila Prabhupada, then we should also use our, everything what we have, our intelligence, our resources, facilities in, in that pursuit. Brahmananda Prabhu, he recounts one story where he was with Prabhupada from the morning, early morning till the evening, and Prabhupada gave every bit of his energy, even at this old age. And then after the last program, when they were returning, Prabhupada dozed off in the car, and he dozed off, and he fell in Brahmananda Prabhu's lap. And then Brahmananda Prabhu was, thinking that this person has given every drop of energy to save the world. So yes, it's, as I said, everyone is different, as you mentioned. But at the same time, then we must think intelligently, okay, I will save myself, but how can I save the others? And that needs a group discussion, not an individual discussion. Individual discussion is required, of course, based on each one's situation, but then also a group discussion is required. And that's why we got this temple. The festivals are there, different programs are there. And we should understand, okay, how can I serve in any of these things? Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Anyone else?
Thank you so much, Mataji, and thank you all the devotees. As Mataji already mentioned, tomorrow is the special program. And just to entice everyone, devotees are cooking hot masala dosas as prasadam. So please come along with your family and children, and let's have a nice sangha based on Bhagavatam and relish prasadam together. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for this beautiful class.
Thank you. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran ki jai, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Have a very blissful Krishna conscious Saturday. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for beautiful class, and Hare Krishna to everyone. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for the beautiful class.
Thank you, Mataji.